So I've got a little bit of an issue with my wheel. I was riding the bike from work to lunch today, and I heard a pop. So I have a broken spoke. And actually, it's not necessarily a broken spoke nut. I guess that's what it's called. I don't know the official term. And I've got to fix it because I have to ride it to work tomorrow. I've got to get the tire off. One of the things I love about my setup, and one of the main reasons why I keep putting the larger cyclocross tire on there, even though I don't do a whole lot of off-road stuff, is the ease of being able to get the tire off. It is extremely easy. See how easy that was? So if you have spokes that are breaking quite a bit, and you break one once a week or something like that, or you break one right after you rebuild the wheel, then you might have some tension issues. But in this case, this wheel, I mean, with all the miles I put on it, I think I've replaced a couple. So I'm just going to replace it with one of these, another black one that I've got right here. It doesn't look like it is the spoke itself. It looks like it's just the nut, so we're going to replace the nut. Okay, so let's find a break in the rim tape. So I've got to get the other piece off, the broken piece off. So I'm just going to unscrew it. Trying to be careful not to twist it too much because you don't want to damage the spoke. That does not seem to want to come off. All right, so I have to put a little bit more torque to it. Okay, so I'm going to try to put some locking pliers, vice grips, wrapped in a cloth. I don't want to damage the spoke because we're still going to use it. So I'm just trying to keep it from rotating the spoke too much while I twist this off. Okay, there we go. Getting some movement. I was just checking the spoke to make sure that I wasn't twisting it. And it is on there pretty good. All right. Okay, let's check to see if there's any damage to the threads at all. I think they'll work as long as the other nut's gonna get on there okay. All right. So I'm gonna check this. This should go on there just fine. And it does. Now, before I put this on, you're going to be putting some tension on those threads as you tighten. And so it's always good practice to do a little bit of lube. These nuts have a little screwdriver top right there so that you can put them on until you start to get some tension and until that spoke starts to poke out. And go ahead and put the tape back on. All right, so this is the one we just put on. And so there's a lot of different methods. Of course, there's some really expensive equipment that people use in order to tension this stuff. And that's all nice if you've got it available. But what I usually try to do is I try to feel around. Initially, I'll feel around the tension to kind of get an idea of where it's tensioned, where it was tensioned before. And so it is going to be a little bit of a feel. Of course, this is a lot looser. And then I'm going to tighten this nut until I feel where it's pretty close as far as the tension. So I'm going to tighten that nut. And again, check tension. Come over to here. And that's pretty close to start out. Now, this isn't going to fix all of your problems just yet. There's one more step. You've got to put it on the bike. So there's going to be a little bit of wobble just because it's a little bit out of alignment. I just lost one of my lights up there. The best way to fine tune on the bike itself is going to be a zip tie. And so move it in until it starts to rub. And so you'll hear that. You'll hear where it's rubbing. Starts right about there, and you can hear it stop making noise right about there. So that is almost dead center in this area right here. So I need to tighten it because this spoke is on the other side. If I tighten that spoke, since it's on the other side of the rim, it should pull the rim, this area, this section of the rim, towards that side if I tighten this. So first I'm going to start out with just 1/2 turn. Let's see if that helps. You can still kind of hear it. I'll go another 1/2 turn. Not sure if you can see it. Oh, we got our light back. All right, so here we are, a little bit better view. So I want to move it a little bit closer, fine tune this a little bit. So that may be a little bit too close. Just a slight bit of touch right about here. Starts there and about there. So it's another one. Let's move it just a little bit, maybe not even a 1/4 turn. Let's go with, and move it over here so you can see. Let's move it just a little bit, maybe just like 1/8 of a turn. See if that makes a difference. Okay. Needs a little bit more. Go to the full 1/4 this time. So it's not quite moving it as much, but it's still rubbing. I'll just keep working at it. That zip tie is barely moving even when it's touching. So I think we've got a pretty good, I mean, I could sit here and fine tune this all day, but I'm not doing any major racing. So this is good enough. We'll tension a little bit, and that simulates some flex, mimicking the weight that you're going to be putting on there. If we moved it a little bit far away, well, that's pretty much it. All right, so I'm going to put the tire back on.